Same thing with, you're going to sit in your standing exercise for an hour, you see, and now it turns into an endurance fest. How can you do it? Can you? Right? Like, can you put some rounds into this 3-inch circle? That's not the true test. So the standing meditation, you're going to do it an hour. It's misleading. It shouldn't take an hour. It should be an instant. In the drop of a sword cut, you should be able to do the release and drop. Okay. So I tell the recruits, eventually, hey, we can't throw the instructor under the bus, but I say, hey, this is a marksmanship skill. We want to see how accurate you can place a round, but we can't let go of all the other mechanics for you to place a round. Because you're not going to have 10 seconds, 5 seconds between shots. It's not going to happen, and you're not going to do that. When somebody's shooting at you, you're going to be pressing that trigger in a blind panic, but you're going to miss. That's what's going to happen. So then, they don't know that, and so you have to come there and go boom, 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 and put 5 rounds in 2 seconds or less in the 1-inch part of the bullseye. You see? You get it? Because it's ideal. If I can stand perfectly still on the range, which they are, with no one shooting at me, and make those kind of splits, and have bullet holes going to bullet holes, I'm going to miss in real life. Just like if I can't release until I have an hour of it, I'm not going to do this in a technique. I'm not going to do it anywhere in real life where people are pressuring me. I'm going to contest. I'm going to do the opposite of what I'm supposed to do. So these pointers that you're given is a way of zeroing you in. In the same way, like I'll come by somebody who's keeps re-gripping their grip. So I will get your ideal grip. What's your ideal grip, right? And they'll get something, and then I'll come and I'll fix them. Just like I go, put your posture here, shift your weight here. You see, when I push on your shoulder, you see. So they'll do some weird grip, and I go, no, let's get that hand up there. All right, are you good? Yep. And then I'll come draw a line across their hands, their 2 hands. Don't change that line. You see? You get it? Right. Okay. Whatever you do, you have to make your shots. Stop using the full 3 inches. Use the 1 inch in the middle. And you cannot take that line apart. Does that make sense? Okay. So that line is like the pointers that you're given. If she, in this case it was a woman, if she doesn't break that grip, you see, she gets to keep her trigger finger in the same place on the trigger. She now gets consistency on the trigger press. She also then doesn't move her sight picture, which you can't. Don't move your sight picture, you see. She has to control recoil too, because she doesn't let the gun jump in her hands. It starts to fix a whole bunch of things without them actually realizing all that they're fixing with the single line that's drawn across it. What most instructors want to do is they'll tell them to slow down. No, we can't slow down. Okay? That's not the drill. So hence, I don't like to do long sessions of release because it's almost misleading. Okay? But it is a technique. But I think it has to be appropriately applied to the beginner. So for example, if I have a shooter who is so scared of the bang, which is very common, that they can't use the mechanics, you see. There's no way. The explosion of the round going off, 1.5 feet from their face, makes them blink, all this kind of stuff. You see that? There's not enough consciousness in order to be trained, not enough awareness in order to be trained. So that person, I'll say, slow down. But my goal is, I just want them to get used to the explosion. I really don't even care. Sometimes I've taken those shooters when I'm driving the bus and take away all the targets and just shoot into the backdrop. You get it? Because the real problem is the explosion. Until we can fix the fear startle response, there's no point in going past that. So when you take somebody and you give them a solo drill, sometimes it's just to get them in the ballpark. Okay? But solo drills have a problem. And the problem is, I don't know what I'm working on. They don't understand that they're getting acclimated to the explosion, you see. And they might even feel bothered by the fact, I'm not giving you a target. You get that? Just shoot. Don't even aim. Sometimes I tell them, don't even aim. Just make the gun go off, right? But it gets you there in the end, in the long run. So the takeaways here is, our training can never lose sight of the utilitarian or practical end. And we have to be very careful about the drills that we use. And a lot of drills in modern Aikido, they just pass down with no understanding of what is the end. What is the practical utilitarian thing I'm not supposed to lose? And this is complicated by the fact that modern Aikidoka don't know that anymore. They're not fighting with it, nor are they living with it either. So they practice one thing inside the dojo, and outside the dojo, they practice contestation all day long, as we had several talks on that, okay? So, in my opinion, solo drills are often touted. Like, you gotta do your solo work, you gotta do your solo work. I like to say solo drills you're gonna do them, but they're not the emphasis of the training. You're gonna do them like we did Zazen, but it's only like a half hour. And then the rest we're doing partner drills, okay? And the partner drills make more gross what we're trying to work on. There's still pointers in there. And then we can work on those things. And this is why we don't really do the boat rowing exercise here. We have done it, but we don't really do it. Whereas in other places, it's part of the warm-up. You know, you do your class and you do all this stuff, and it's part of warm-up. But as we've seen in the group, people don't know what they're doing. And now you're doing something that is totally contrary to what we're supposed to be doing, just like those new shooters, like you're taking 10-second splits between rounds. No, this is pointless. This is absolutely pointless right now. So I have taken the solo drill of the boat rowing exercise and put it in the beginning of the Budo cultivation drill set, and then we move past it to see what can you do with it, okay? And then from there, you can take it into the techniques, okay? So, we start with a standing drill, which is I'm going to take yang aspect and release it to the midfoot. There is a skill that is very important in Kihon Waza, and that's ground vectoring, okay? So we want to know how to do that. And ground vectoring is, I'm going to take your yang aspect and divert it, along with my yang aspect, down to the ground to the midfoot. So tactically, in Kihon Waza, as I said at the beginning, we use the back midfoot for Kihon Waza. In fighting, you're gonna have to use whatever foot it is, one foot, even a toe will work, okay? But in Kihon Waza, it is probably 99% of the time the back midfoot. So we want to know that, okay? So we do our releasing drill. I take my yang aspect, drill 1, and I release it to the midfoot. And it has to be fast, speed of life fast, okay? I don't know what to feel. Not sure what that is. I don't understand why changing my grip is slowing me down, right? So we got to get you there. So we're going to amplify it, and we use partnered drills. And I think it's interesting that in one of those talks, Adam Misner, who has people do solo standing drill for like hours, he said his teacher no longer does solo drills and goes to partner drills. And Damo said that too about his teacher. And I think because they landed on exactly what I landed on. This makes the aspects we're working with gross enough for the practitioner to get more in the ballpark. There's a lot of self-deception that comes from solo drills in the same way that there's a lot of self-deception when I let you shoot however slow you want, and you're satisfied with rounds all over a 3-inch circle with no stress of someone shooting at you, you see. So we use the partner drills that way. So we know the boat rowing exercise has this motion to it, okay? But you can see at this point in O-sensei's boat rowing, he's on the back foot. Okay? What does everyone do? They emphasize this part, you see? And so they're here like that. And they kind of go, like throwing themselves forward. But this is the part that you're working with. This resets the drill. This part is in the techniques everywhere. Okay? So we go to drill 2. You should start speed of life. I draw my yang aspect on the back midfoot. She adds her yang aspect, and I can join that to the back midfoot. And the metric that we're using here is if you're grounding on the back midfoot, the front foot is irrelevant, therefore it can be on the ground, off the ground, and she cannot move. The metric is not to be moved. The metric is yang aspect on the back midfoot, and it is coincidental with her not being able to move me. I don't want to task myself with, hey, shoot within that 3-inch circle. That's not the true goal, okay? I should be able to do that, but that's not the true goal. So the goal here is not to stop myself from being moved. The goal is to combine and conjoin her yang aspect with my aspect on the midfoot. And to do this, I can be very relaxed. She can push, and it doesn't matter. I'm doing the drills. Hence, I tell you guys that when you feel muscle tension, and you can, so here I am in that muscle tension, and then I'll release that without losing positional integrity. It'll drop. And I should be able to just drop it like I'm holding something and I let go. That is more you're working on the drill than you doing this, okay? So maybe I feel the tension, I release, and I get pushed. I say you're closer to getting it than if you don't get pushed and you keep muscle tension, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so here is Funekogi. That's that part right there. And here's the partner drill, so you're not bullshitting yourself on whether you're taking yang aspect and able to conjoin it with your yang aspect and send it down to the neutral. Okay? So that's this part in drill 2. All right, so let's try that, and then I'll show you the moving forward part. Okay? Try that again. And if you want more sensation of what's happening, you just increase your partner's yang aspect. You can tell them more, push more, and see, does tension arise? Does positional integrity, is it maintained? Is it maintained through tension or through yang aspect, conjoining and going down to the back midfoot? So use your training partner. Tell them more. They're not opponents. If they're pushing laterally, like Margaret was doing that one day, tell them, hey, push a little straighter on me, please, okay?
Sorry?
And observe what you feel. Where does my tension come? Am I in a bracing angle? Etc. Switch every 2, not 4, please.
Right.
And you have your areas that the teacher gave you to focus on.
Right.
Okay? And even as you coach or you direct your uke, be observant of what requests you're making. Because we also know ultimately the shape is irrelevant.
Right.
Okay? So your requests are probably shape relevant,
Right.
which will eventually have to be taken away.
Right.
Okay? Okay? Alright, so as I said, we're going to do today more like a moving lecture. Okay, so don't sit so close apart. Let's talk. Okay? Alright, so what, and you feel free to stand, it's fine. Okay, so what, anything come up? Any questions? Just like that shooter wants to know, I think I told you the other day that one of the recruits came up and is all like, I can't find my red dot. That's going to slow you down. In a real gunfight, you can't find your red dot. You're going to just press the round. You're going to miss. Got it? The cadre member, the cadre lead, didn't show people how to find the red dot. He doesn't know how to teach people to find the red dot. Get it? So I pulled this kid aside and here's how you find it. And I explained it just like this, just like we did. That kid's top shot. Okay? It's in all of us, but the information can complicate what we're doing. So that's why I want you to feel free and not just sit there, because how we got to this stuff nowadays is because everyone was fine not knowing what they're doing. Do you get it? So that's why we're doing today like a discussion. Okay, so what did you feel at this point right now? You feel the muscle tension? Anyone not feeling it?
I feel it mostly as you feel when I'm pushing, especially here.
Yeah.
It's been like this for years.
Yes.
I don't feel that on my left side, but on the right side.
Okay, so take pointers that you've heard. We've had this one mentioned this week. And what did you hear the teacher say to someone else who had that same point? You remember? Daniel? Should you have sides? You don't have sides, okay? If we have sides, we're not doing it, okay? Same thing. I'm going to let you get in there, and I will work to reconcile your sides, but that's indicative that I'm not yet doing it, okay? Just like the muscle tension is indicative. As I said, when I say shape doesn't matter, if shape doesn't matter, then I don't have sides. Do you see that? In the practical end of this, if I want to do this, let's say martially, if I have a shape, I'm at a great disadvantage. If I can find the release and the ground vector from any position in any vector, I'm more martially viable than if I have to be one way to get it to whatever's going on. If I'm going to do this socially or spiritually, the same thing. If I can't find the release, no matter what the environment and the situation is, then I can't really do the drill. You get that? So keep in mind, I remember the teacher said shape doesn't matter, okay? And then you're just training as you're going along. Work on what you can work on, get in there, release, you have your pointer, okay? You can also do some tests though. Okay, so we're gonna do, she's pushing. We're gonna do drill 2 again, and I can come up on one leg. And I'm not doing the Christopher Hine thing. You see what I'm doing? She's holding me up. Here I am, standing with my posture, and I can take that leg up. She's pushing, and then you could go any old way. She can't push me over. Okay? So let's try the one leg, and it's going to get more growth, and you're going to feel, whoa, I had tension somewhere, because the structural displacement is only possible from the yang overriding my yang, turning me yin. But if I can internalize her yang vector, it doesn't override me. This is the yin yang theory at its reconciliation. Yin yang reconciliation isn't a movement of lesser yang to yang, so to speak. It is, I stop all yin yang. Okay? I'm not there at all. So she's pushing, I don't want to go to the confusion. She's not confused, but it doesn't change what you're pushing against, whether my foot is down or my foot is not down. And in some way, that's a little weird. Okay? So we'll try this, and you'll see, usually what you're going to see is that along with not ground vectoring, you have weak corners, and those give first, okay? Well, let's get some awareness on these weak, what I'm calling corners. Okay, so let's try it.
Right.
Do the first drill and then simply pick the leg up. Okay? Go. And again, this is the rearward part, the most important part of the boat rowing exercise. Let's move your team this way, Virginia. And when you go on one leg, there should not be an increase in yang at the grip. That's you leaning on them, okay? Right, Virginia? You didn't feel an increase when I went on one leg. It felt exactly the same as the first one. If you just to skip more, if you feel the increase in the yang when they go on one leg, let go. And they'll be able to see that, I was leaning on them. Okay? If they don't fall forward, they were doing it. But you shouldn't have felt an increase in yang. Keep the drill going. Okay? Start in the first drill, you're pressing. Let's switch roles and walk. Go. No, switch roles. Notice the turn. That comes first. Okay? And on day one, remember, it was that rotation that we were talking about. Do you remember that? When your elbow was out and it would turn you?
Yes.
And that's what I would call a weak corner. Okay. So what this drill is telling me is this part is not in my downward descending of my own yang aspect. And now if we look why, we're going to use yin-yang theory here. It's turning you, right? That means it's turnable. What's making it turnable is you're pushing on her. But she has greater yang mechanics, and so this yields to it. Do you guys understand that? Okay, so by us not turning, it's indicative that we're not turnable. And by us not being turnable, it's indicative that I'm not contesting the grip. You get it? And now I'm doing the drill, which is yang aspect is coming into me and being diverted down. Okay? So every time we lose what we're trying to accomplish here, it's giving light to the fact, here I am contesting. They have greater yang mechanics, and the universe is working its way out and go, you're yin shoulder. Okay? So that's what you're working on. And none of that comes out in this. None of that comes out. Until you can feel that you know, I am grounded. I can feel that everything is organized. Then you can do this drill, but you know what? You don't have to do that drill. Everything is doing whatever it is. You don't need the boat rowing exercise for that kind of exercise, okay? Another one you can do, sometimes this one is more difficult, but another one you can do, she's driving, and she lets go. And I don't go flying forward. You can do that one too, okay? So let's try that one. It's a little less difficult than the other one, but you really have to push. Okay? Let's go. And all we're trying to do is make the backward motion of the boat rowing exercise an actual viable drill. Yes. So again, if we look at that in the yang theory, why did I come forward? Right? Because I am contesting at the grip, right? And when the grip goes yin, I came forward. Rather than internalizing his yang, I was pushing on his yang. And when that goes away, you'll come forward. Okay? That's what we're trying to look at here. Okay? Try it. Lao Gong. You're on the back foot. Okay? So again, we're taking the boat rowing exercises, making the aspects more gross so I can observe myself, so that I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so that I actually achieve a viable practice at the end. Okay? So what should I be doing in this drill? I should be doing the same thing in the standing drill, but I probably wasn't. See? And if I'm doing drill 2 here, I'm supposed to be something, but there's some wiggle room. Just like there was so much wiggle room in this that people change what it is. Okay? There's some wiggle room here, but the teacher can modify it. The teacher who understands what the end goal is can modify it to make even drill 2 more gross. So they can put you on one leg, they can have the uke let go, but you can tell when there's a I'm fighting a turning, or even you, like you're doing that day after day after day. It's not going to be, today's Saturday, so it's Lao Gong Day. You get it? But Monday, go right back to this. So what are you thinking? You're thinking that release is that. Got it? It's not that, which you've been told a million times. Okay? Take last night's training, or last night's work. Chaos is erupting. Did you see me go, no more chaos? Or did you see me work, not get plagued by what was going on, and take control of the situation? Which I did. This is a kind of retreating, you see. This is that idea that the gooey soft Aikido, that everything's yin. You push me over. No. You see that? It's not yin, it's not weakness. It's just not contestation. That's the difference. Okay? So you have to be careful, because a lot of people that are doing their spiritual training have misunderstood the Christ teaching with just this. Total weakness. Okay? And then when you look at those people under conditions that are not conducive to your weakness, what do? They contest. So we saw in the Shirakawa video, what happened when that guy was pushing on him? He did exactly what someone does with no training. How long did it take you to learn that? Alright? Like, you were probably bored with that. Do you know what I mean? So, same thing, as I said, one of the people there working with us could smell the riot starting, and he started yelling at these people, and that's just upping everybody's emotions, you see. But he has a business on life coaching. Okay? This is weird. So the same thing with, in the Shirakawa, somehow all his harmony in his choreographed ukemi doesn't function in reality, just like a new shooter that's doing 10-second splits. This is not going to function in reality. Okay? And that is being revealed in the turn or the need to do this. I'm not quite there. Okay? So we do the next drill. Rather than going to the boat, we're going to do the next drill. Okay? So I go to the back of the boat rowing exercise, and then I'm going to come forward this way. So I take this part and forward. This part and forward. This part, forward. This part, forward. Side note, martially, you do this catching a lot. This is how you catch the yang aspect. Catch it, boom, and out it comes. It's in the bow rowing exercise. So take the sword work we did, right? We're here, and their sword, or their Joe's coming in, remember? I reached, and the back foot stepped. That was the catch. Boom, came around underneath it and hit with the kirigayashi. If you stayed still, you're going to get a touch. Okay? So we had also the ikkyo catch. It's in everything. It's in the boat rowing. But we're going to go slow. Transfer, transfer. Transfer, transfer. Okay, let's try it. Drill 3.
Okay.
This is going to amplify our gooiness and our turning or contestation. Okay?
Right.
Because the yang value is going to increase as we go forward.
Right.
And if I'm not reconciling it, you'll see the effects of the amplified yang.
Right.
Okay? Try it. Don't add to it. Just shift forward. So do that again, Chris. This turn here is what you go back, okay? And you go, and you turn, you see? So your catch is on the turn, but your catch needs to be just on a shift, okay? So, boom. That's it. So you can feel, you see, that it got compromised there, right? Because the yang value is there. And this is on a very lightweight. We'll put you with Adam. Only because you're external right now. If you were internal, it doesn't matter. You feel like her, she feels like Ronan, it doesn't matter. But externally, it does matter, okay? And we want to amplify the gross cues. Don't push, just shift. They're not the metric. You just go to the back foot, you come to the front foot. Don't turn. Do you feel that turn, Adam, that he did? Back foot. You're not quite on the back foot. Turn. You're turning. Okay, so now guess, analyze your own performance. Why won't you go all the way on the back foot? Think about it. Anyone?
It feels like he's going on a
You feel like you go backwards because before you settled there, you see, you settled there. You got yourself all organized, and then you can hold that. But now we're going take it and move him, and then move him. Okay? And this, though, is the boat rowing exercise closer to it. Pressure, move it, move it. Okay? Got it? So it's a little harder. Okay? But you have to get to the back foot and you have to get forward. If you're doing your arc, you're coming in with whatever, and you're here. You see? When you could have been here. You see that difference? Do you feel pressure go off? Yes. Okay, go. You gotta go all the way back to the back foot, just like in drill 2. Not halfway there. Without turning. Turning, you're trying not to go backwards. And then just shift forward. Ignore what happens to him. you're scanning for tension. Alright, so let's do that to your left arm, and we'll watch here. Okay? So at the end is your little bracing angle. And she's being moved. It'll give you the sense like that, like those beginner shooters, when you finish the drill, and you go, oh yeah, everything's in the 3-inch drill. Do you get it? But how long did it take you to get it? Why'd you use the full 3 inches? It's not practical. Do you get it? Or your gooiness is now coming into play here. The gooiness that you had won't let you actually do this part. Right. And we'll see later that external pushing on her is going to not serve you in the drill. We can again modify this one, right? So we catch and I'm on one leg and then in. Okay? And that way I gotta be all the way back, okay? And it'll amplify that one. You'll probably feel better for it because you're gonna bring your weight to that part. You see? So you'll hit her, you'll catch, and then you'll go down. You see that? But that's not what I did. So I catch and I'm here. Boom. Okay? See if you can do that and see where we get here. Try that one.
Right.
It's a modification of drill 3.
Right.
And please be in the middle of the mat.
Sorry.
And then what do you think that uke can do? Let go. You're going back because you're clearly not still on the back foot and leaning on him. Okay? There's that turn again. Good. When to let go is when you're on the back foot. Let go when he's on when he goes to the back foot. Yeah, just let go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See how you don't want to go back there, okay? But that moment, a couple of things martially, because we have an end, right? Just like the new shooter, I'll use that 3-inch circle to, allow you to work on your shooting mechanics, but you can't milk the drill, okay? Because there's a practical end here. Well, this is your push drag that we were working with the whole time versus your step drag, okay? She's doing her step drag, you see, as opposed to I'm pushing into that. So the joski, all the himi attacks we were doing, it's all off the push drag, not the step drag. The ability to come on one leg means that I can move and I don't have to wait for your weight to go off of me for me to move again, which came up in the to the back angle. I keep moving, okay? So that part's all in there. But you can see the instructor is constantly monitoring for what your body's doing. Nobody's trying to be an asshole. Nobody is trying to say, I think this is the way it should go. But we do things, we deviate from what we're doing. And the instructor has to bring you back in. Like that shooter isn't going, you know what, I actually think it's better if I change my grip all the time. They just can't keep it together, okay? So hence the other drills. So this one, the catch is more immediate. And the reason for this is, yes, an external catch, but in order for it to function correctly, it's an internal catch. Because if you just do this, you see, you did yield, but you didn't yield all the way. Why? Because internally you weren't receiving the yang. So the drill 4 is more immediate. And what will happen is if you are doing it externally, there's not much in her because there wasn't much yang buildup, and so there's not much projection. But internally, you'll get more out of it. So it is the boat rowing exercise, but shrunk. Okay? All right, try it.
Adam,
The catch has an internal aspect, not a purely external aspect. Yeah, it's very quick. Catch right away, project right away. You got to catch first. You just ran into him with the yawn. Okay, so always assess your own performance. Okay? What do you think there? About there, what happened?
I don't think I can run it in.
So as an instructor, I go, yeah, this is too far. Well, the parts that we were working on, weren't achieved yet, and so this drill is now not able to do it, okay? So I have a shooter who can't stop breaking their grip, or I have a shooter that's startling. I gotta get that problem, and then we can go on, okay? That shooter is still improving. The one who I took away all targets and is getting acclimated to the explosion is still progressing to the shooter who's doing this kind of stuff that will never ever translate, okay? So if you look at the other drills, from here you go on, I'm now going to move towards her, you see, and do that same drill. This takes away all external catch. Do you see that? The only way I'm catching is internal because I'm moving at her. Do you understand?
Right.
Okay, so what'll happen at your level is you're just going to run at her like this kind of thing. It's not the same thing. If they're big enough, you'll get displaced. Okay, so for shits and giggles, let's just try it. But you should have already realized that's happening right here. The catch part I'm missing. The projection part I can replicate with an external contestation. Do you see that? And as I said, the most important part of the boat rowing exercise is the rearward part, which makes modern understanding of the boat rowing exercise the forward part being emphasized. As I posted in that video, Terry Dobson is literally here. Oh, Sensei is going back and he's going forward, emphasizing that. He's this close to the founder master and he's doing something different. Okay? Just imagine now, generations distant, no teacher, there's no way, you know why we've ended up where we've ended up, okay? So let's just experience this, okay? Try it. But I would normally keep you at these other drills and then work on all kinds of ways to deal with your worldview that has you convinced that contestation is the way, the only way, is what I mean, the way, the only way, okay? So let's try it so we just see this. So you're walking at them, catching internally. You don't stop. Did I stop? No, I'm just walking. This is how I'm walking. I'm not walking like this. Okay? I'm just walking. Okay, go. You start here and you walk towards them, they walk towards you. Then Uke can't, you'll alternate. Uke can't yield because you're still our metric. So don't take that force into your elbow, okay? What happens when you do that is you went hyper yin and they're not going to notice that pushed them back, okay? Go. There's that block, you see? Yes. Do four across. You stop. You feel a stop. And you can see even your step drag where you try to put your weight onto that foot. There's the turn. We're stopping. Okay. So we'll come back to Maya. And you're pushing. Keep walking. We're stopping. Keep going. There's that step drag. Did you see? So she did that. Okay? So, the Deshi's going to, and again, that's this. That's this. This, okay? The Deshi is going to use their mouths and their homolateral bracing structure. That's what you're trying to do when you go on. Okay? So we take that away. We're in this drill. She's pushing. You can do it. She's pushing, and I'm not going front backwards. I don't have that bracing angle anymore. And I'm just here releasing. She can let go again, let go when you want, and nothing happens. Okay? The next drill, I move her, and I'm not going far backwards. So this is the last two drills. So, I think you can do it. 1, just hold. 2, okay? Because there's no movement, you're going to have to catch with your arm, bring your arm out, which I think helps amplify more that you were bracing, okay? So, hold, in, back out. Don't lose balance. Okay, go. And this concludes the standing step. Good. And move to the center, please. Try it again. 2 more. Okay, so do you feel the muscle tension?
Yes.
Okay, so it comes from you going gooey to bring his hand back. Don't go, your hand comes back, but it's not gooey. Do you understand? It just comes back. He's not fallen into the space. You're bringing him into the space. So slow down how he comes. Just bring it back. Then you bring it out. Now you're closer. Slow him down. Don't lean at him. That's better, mine. That's fine, this is better. You're not turning now. You're not turning because you can't. Okay? That's what the drill is meant to do. Just like I put that line on that shooter's grip, it won't let her take her hand apart. You see? So you can't turn now and have it function. You turn now, you're going to go backwards immediately. And the tension is way gross. And the distinction between gooey and tense is way gross, you can tell. So you have to try, you've got to try to not go gooey and not be tense. You're just moving freely. He's not the metric. He's not the metric. What you're doing inside you is the metric. So I'll show you when we're here. So we're going, And we took away all her mechanics. Okay? We go. There's a little lean there. You're doing great. Okay? She's organizing all this to get it back out. And this is closer, regardless that she was projected or not. This is much closer than you were moving her before with your stiff arm. Okay? The fact that you're not going backwards as you're moving your hand out is required you to have to let go of all that shit. Okay? I'm going to try it again, but watch, you guys watch for this. There's a little lean. You see, she's releasing as she's pushing out, okay? Because she has to. If we had even a bigger dude, it's not going to work, okay? All right, let's stop there again for talking points or question points. Anything to think of?
I'm trying to find just, gross rift, but between gooey and
Yes.
stiff arming.
Yes.
I don't know. But even when we seemed to be kind of listing in the right direction the other
Yeah.
day, I was able to maintain some
Yes.
integrity. I was feeling,
Yes.
not hardcore muscle engagement, but some pretty palpable tension or pressure
Yeah.
in the shoulder area.
Yes.
I don't know if that is meant to go away or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find.
Yes. Okay, so that was in drill 2.
Yeah.
And we had a tendency to turn on drill 2.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get ourselves where we're not turning. That's what that's about. And then as we keep working, we know, okay, I'm not supposed to turn, but it's possible to maintain position in drill 2 without actually fully doing drill 2. That's why you need drill 3 and drill 4, and you need to go on, okay? All of these, to put it another way, every single drill can be done or replicated under the untrained eye as if you were doing it correctly. That's why you need the following drill. But if you can't maintain positional integrity at all without this stance, we are further behind than somebody than where we need to be. So let me put that better. This is maintaining positional integrity. You see, I have this A-frame, okay, and this little skeletal alignment that I'm using. This looks like I'm doing the drill, but I took this away from you, and I said maintain structural integrity here, positional integrity here. I need to be able to do this. If I can't do it, if I can only do this, if I can't do it here, then I am nowhere near being where I need to be. So I, as a teacher, just wanted you to be able to maintain structural integrity, because it's not so easy, right? Because you don't really have a base, you know what I mean? And you don't really have skeletal alignment because we're not. I saw one Aikidoka that he's standing like this, and saying this is internal, so just skeletal alignment, you know. So it's still accomplishing a lot that you're not turning, and I'll take it as a teacher. And then you know though that I'm supposed to get rid of the tension, and then we keep working on that tension. And then you also know that the shape doesn't matter. So even on this last drill, where you can't turn, yeah, you can. You can turn. You understand? It's just, when I give you that pointer, it's like, you're going to have to hold that structural integrity that I want you to be able to hold without erasing it. We're going to go on, the teacher's going to go on and go, shape doesn't matter. You have to do it in any shape, and you have to do it moving. It has to function at the speed of light, or it's non-functional. Okay? And none of that becomes observable to the self when you just warm it up with these exercises. It just doesn't. Hence my emphasis on partner training. Okay? So I'll take that, and that's why it's good, right? You were able to hold that, and then we just work. There's more drills, there's more training to do. Keep doing it. Just like everything's in the standing, it's just, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Everything is in the positional drill. If you can truly do the positional drill without any tension, you can do all the other drills. I only need the other drills to make more gross my deviation from the standing drill. Okay? And so that means then I'm going to observe what I need to work on, and I need to work on those things. Each drill is just revealing to me. Okay? They're not really. I think at one point I said it the way I always meant to say it, but it's eluding me. They're not progressions. They're just more perspectives on the same skill set. Okay. They're not like, if you could do this, now that you did this, do that. It's not necessarily that, like you've learned addition, now learn multiplication, now learn this. It's not that kind of stuff. But it's just more perspectives that give you. He said there's an ability to replicate the improper mechanics. Okay? But he also said there's no shape, and I need to do it moving, and I need to do it at the speed of light. Okay? And that's how to understand this. So I was very satisfied that you came and you were able to be in Hanmi, which is a very shallow stance, right? It's a very shallow stance. And on that day, hey, cool, you're holding there. Of course there's tension there, but better than this. And then we can build on that. Okay? But that is the Kokyu set is the boat rowing exercise, just made gross so that we can observe ourselves. Okay? And now all that are in the techniques. So we had this one. Here's that catch right there. So here's my contestation, and I'm not going to feed it, and you let go. That's just going to go flying. Okay? I catch it, load it, and then project it. Boom. Okay? Try it. You have to deviate now. You have timing. You have mind. This is just the Ikkyo, but we're going to project him off of us. It's got to be moving, tension free, no gooey. My center.
Hi.
Out of your shoulder. That's the same turning. It's not that you're turning. It's not that you turn the shoulder, but you contest it at the arm And that's where in the drill it's exposed as the turn. Okay? Okay, so we have this discussion class.
Thank you very much.
Push. 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 You see? No gooey. No gooey. Okay? Push. No gooey. Then we'll deal with the shoulder tension. So what happens is you come here and then you tense. You release. Just like in the drill, remember? Boom, back forward, no tension in the arm. Coming back forward, that's where that happens. So we go. Even in what might be incorrect mind, you see I'm very tight. Just release. Release. Tight. Release. In the form. Release. Small was release. Okay? That movement was that. Okay? Try it. Hard to do in the form, easier to do in the drill. Okay? More simple. Okay, try it. Keep the form, don't do my little tricks. I'm just making points that the shape does not matter. Okay? Don't go gooey or tense. Did you feel the tension? See, that's where it's stalled. So you see now, now the teacher presented a dilemma to you, and it's how serious you take it. He did that. There was one rep where he did that. So then, why is this so necessary? Do you get it?
Yes.
So, maybe I can't understand, maybe I can't do it, but explain how that worked. You should be able to explain it. So how did that work?
Because there wasn't tension through the
Where did the repelling energy come from? Because it's not coming from that contestation on his grip and trying to shove him backwards. Because it's clearly not there. Do you see that?
Right.
So where did the displacing energy come from?
The rebound from you letting in his initial young aspect.
Got it? And that's what's happening even if I'm doing gross, large movements as a kimo, which I want you to do. Okay? This is just a demonstration like, hey, you think you have to do that. Struggle with this. Okay? So careful, because right now on you, we're seeing the last drill. And it's got to be relaxed. Okay? And the more relaxed you are, the more yang comes in. The more yang goes out, the more it displaces the mass and that rebounding energy. Okay? So you gotta try harder. He's gonna be there. Of course he's there. How are you gonna project him out if he's not there? But it's how do you move your hand in space? Are you moving it all locked up, or are you just moving it?
Right.
Okay? So try it again.
Right.
2 more,
Two
Chris.
more, please. So,
Part of it is your immobility.
right.
Your immobility is triggering your ego tripartite mind, and you go right into that. What's going on with is it your knees or what?
Probably just tightness in the hips more than the knees.
All right. That's better. Just keep it relaxed.
I had one more.
Just
You got to yield. So there's that. I only know gooey.
Right.
And then you got to find the center, not the arm, not the shoulder, because the technique's in the center, not in the arm. Are you doing the mechanics if you stay in the arm? Yes, but the Kihon is in the center.
Right.
Okay?
go ahead. Am I needing to come off lines and then back in?
That is the Kihon, is you want his shoulder to pass you.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
There it is. That's it. You get the claw going. Good. Be on the balls of your feet. And get the inward spiral handwork going. Using all the internal mechanics you just worked on. Good. Better. No need to come up. We should be going down when we throw here. The jog aspect's going down in us. Down. Okay. So use the spiral, don't project it. I'm going to use the spiral. You're relevant. I made her the prize. The prize is in the shape. I'm doing movies. Okay? There's many ways to play with it. Good. You guys do the Kihon, please. And the Kihon, the other side's not dead. The other side's alive. Center. Tension. No. So remember, I always say don't paint. So I'm not saying go to the touch the center. I'm saying where you're at, touch the center. Get out of the shoulder. I can be low and be in your shoulder. You see? You get it?
Yes,
So you do the shape. No. Find the center. Shoulder. Center. Okay? Do the shape in the center. What usually happens is at a certain point in the spiral, that center gets heavy. So you come up around the top of it. You see? No. Release. Center. Okay? Time. Just like other uke, other nage go in front of the whole center. You're going around the top of the center. Don't change the shape, don't touch the center. The handwork is exactly the same. Can you make sure he's okay? Same thing on my center. That's it.